Today guys, we are making the world's most banned knife, the butterfly knife, aka the barley song. It is banned, feared, and completely misunderstood.
Wait, it's banned? I didn't know it was banned. I see ballet songs all the time. It's not banned. Oh, in other countries or... Oh.
Knives are the criminal's most common ally, increasingly used on London's streets for both robbery
Of course!
and violence.
But the barley song has roots in Filipino culture that deserve to be celebrated.
But a lot of people don't know that it's from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Even a lot
True, this is the reason why my favorite knife is the butterfly knife in CS, because I love representing the Philippines in my own little ways.
of Filipinos outside of the Philippines don't even know
Hi, Sergey.
that it's from the Philippines.
Today we head back
We're
to
in such a History Channel mood, aren't we? We have watched a guy shooting different pellets and whatever guns. Now we're watching knives videos. Like if you grew up watching History Channel, I feel like this is a great day for you. Absolutely amazing day for you.
the birthplace of this iconic blade. Craft one with artisans whose families have been doing it for generations. We're gonna find out why it's even banned, and then we're gonna see what makes it so iconic.
If the ballet song is banned, is other knives banned as well?
Dr. Pentecost sent me! Oh, that's great!
Alright guys, today we're here with Ron, and we are putting you on the spot. Ron Carino, a Filipino-American with just a real for the barley song.
Cultura.
He's the
Cultura.
founder of KNB Barley Song, a non
Oh my god, I could buy this right now. Let me see how much it is. Only available in the Philippines. Oh my god! It's not that bad. This is like $50. 50 to 60. 60. I would say more of 60. Look at this. Oh my gosh. If I were to pick one, I really like this one. Bone scratched. Oh my god. I need the gold one. Is there a gold plated one so I can match my CS one with? Wait! Blue fade. I like this one the most though. It's so clean. There's something about this that's so clean. I like this one the most. Which one do you guys like?
profit that is dedicated
It's just really rare. It's so rare to have something that's like Philippines only. You know what I mean?
to keeping this culture and the craftsmanship of this Filipino pocket knife alive. He's brought me to the birthplace of the barley song, where
That's
generations
not that far.
have kept this tradition going. And we are here with
We're here with Kuya Vic Bautista, who's one of the famous Bautista brothers, some of the most well-known balisong makers here in town.
He learned how to craft from his father
si
when he was
Kuya.
little more than a child, and he's still making these today. Alright, so we're coming up on Kuya Vic's workshop. It is sort of like a small knifesmith, bladesmith shop here in the sort of, I don't know what you'd call this, a little courtyard. We've got a big belt, some drills.
Isn't it so crazy that this kind of camera quality, when he's obviously not this camera, but like it's so good. This thingy is so insanely good.
I see a bunch of barley
And it's
song
so
laid out.
small.
Let him get to work and we'll break down the steps. We're making this barley song with traditional materials. Housing and handles finished with bone, horn, or wood.
And then for the blade, they'll usually make it with molia, which is oftentimes recycled spring leaves from jeepneys. So they make it from bearing as well. So spring leaves and bearing as well.
I think
Scrap
it's like
metal.
the go-to material for Filipino knives. When I came here previously shooting bolos, it was also made
I saw a Twitter post of a Chinese guy that was visiting the Philippines saying how the Philippines needs to remove all the old school kind of like jeepneys, tricycles, stuff like that. If you don't know, in the Philippines, we don't really have we have buses and stuff, but when it comes to just little street to street stuff like that, you have a tricycle and your own thingy. And then for jeepneys, it's to city, very short, whatever distances. Buses is it goes really long. It can go really long. He was talking pretty much and how blah, blah, blah about the Philippines. And then, oh my God, Filipinos got so mad. Street to street, maybe walk, lazy bones. Yeah, try to walk with 35 Celsius of the sun, with no trees outside, the scorching hot sun blazing through. Yeah, that's the reason why these kinds of transportations exist, because like it's too hot. Anyway, yeah, that guy got absolutely, like, so many Filipinos got heated. Like, how dare you, a foreigner trying to like judge the Philippines, blah blah
Filipino
blah, blah.
knives. When I came here previously shooting bolos, it was also made almost entirely from leaf spring. So yeah.
However, it's unfortunate that I kind of a little bit agree. I'm sorry. I do think the transportation in the Philippines needs to a little bit modernize, or at least like upgrade. I saw how much hate that he was getting, but I kind of did agree. It sucks having to stare at the street, look at all the buses go by, and how you pick the bus is because they have a thingy on the front of the bus saying where they're going at their final destination kind of thingy. It's in the front of the bus with a little bit of a, paper or something. And like, there's no time schedules, there's no nothing, and et cetera, which a little bit sucks. I do think it needs to be a little bit modernized, but without losing the culture.
These are the key materials to a heavy, solid build knife, with a totally different flow
Even
and
in the
feel
city,
to the
yes.
light aluminum and plastic knockoffs that come out of China. We start out with the housing. 2 sheets of are hammered into shape using a template to get that exact width and dimensions.
So it usually takes them 1 to 2 days to finish a whole balisong. It's completely by hand.
1 to 2 days. Wow, that's pretty fast though, no?
And that's what...
Demi, can you smuggle me a butterfly knife? I'll pay you good. Brother, I'm gonna be banned. You want me banned even more? I can't even get...
The differences between a handmade balisong versus a machine.
I feel like I would have actually
They're
like got
literally
accepted if I didn't do
pouring
that.
their heart, their sweat, their blood sometimes into every single balisong that they make.
In the corner of
How
the
did you miss
workshop,
that,
there's
Demi?
this
I like finishing forms as fast as possible, unfortunately. The moment I need to do in a form, I'm like, no. I click no, like really immediate. I maybe or may not kind of rushed it, and that's my fault.
belt-driven grinder, a Frankenstein of holes.
Maybe probably a good idea to take your time with that one. Yeah, no, you're right. It's because the problem is that I just copy pasted everything I put in the UK one to the US one in the Philippines and stuff without really thinking. Okay, because I was like, oh, this is my perfect form anyway. I already did all the research and shit. Might as well.
School ingenuity. It's powered by this aging electric motor and weighed down with a cage of stones. This beast is going to be doing all the heavy lifting today.
I don't know if you guys.
Demi, don't bite a knife. Stop! Dude!
Going to be able to hear any of this, but yeah, sort of like a.
That's crazy to me. I would have checked it 20 times. I'd be too stressed. I think it's because I thought that it's a copy pasta, and because I already did it before, there would have there's no questions that I would forget. Yeah, no, I f***ed up. I wasted $200 on that stupid immediate decline visa.
Smile.
Dante, they got 13 months, and deposit, they got 23 months.
A bucket of water is frequently just dunking the grass in the water and then grinding away helps smooth it out. This thing is loud, big, and seems kind of dangerous. Just a giant belt running across the workshop.
The steel housings are smoothed and leveled until they are identical in size. The edges are finished by hand before moving on to the measurement.
You know, in EU, when I was doing my application for EU, I f***ed up one thing, and they were like, oh, can you edit this? I was like, oh, sure. In EU, they literally helped me with my, oh, dude, excuse me, ma'am. Maybe you have to, do this and that to add to the thingy so that you'll have a better chance. And I was like, oh, thank you. Let me do this. Okay, then I did this, and I did the edits that they wanted me to do because they wanted me to book some hotels and stuff so that they could see that you already have plans and etc. And so I just booked some hotels I refunded immediately after I got my visa. And that's it. Yeah, dude, man.
Using a homemade marking gauge, we quickly lay out the spots for the rivets and the lock that will hold everything together. So what is this, Ron? I absolutely love this little measuring stick. You're sort of using it to like quickly measure an exact distance within the brass.
Fraud?
Kind of
No. They literally help you for your papers and stuff. Like pretty much, they pretty much like tell you like, oh no, ma'am, you really do need to like book your flights beforehand. You might as well do it now.
Scratches this distance. Yeah, as you can see, it's just like handmade.
I think the one thing I messed up with is that I did the apparently when it comes with insurance and health insurance and stuff like that, you need to add 1 month or 1 week after your visit as well, and you have to include that in it. I only included the days off, and they were like, no. You need to add 6 more days after this, or like 7 more days after the date of your thingy. So just like add more and buy more health insurance, and it should be fine. And then they were like, oh, okay, thank you. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Then I did it.
Nail hanging off a piece of wood that he can wedge in at a specific distance. Once the marks are made, the
EU wants you, America wants your money for your screw up on the form, cost money, denied retake form. I will not lie, there was a lot of people in that line in the America, and I saw a lot of sad faces. And I was like, wow, that's like $200 each person that you see beside you. $200. I was like, damn. There's a lot of money deporting people or like declining their visa.
materials are then hand sawn, filed down to a perfect fit.
By the way, when it comes to EU, they're super harder on you if you're living there though. I'm only applying to visit, guys. So when it comes to visitation visas, they're like pretty much checking whether or not that will you actually just like visit or will you not visit, or will you actually overstay your visit. So pretty much you just have to prove that like you're not going to overstay your visit. In America, I think they have a lot of people that overstays their visa, and now it's harder for the rest of the people who will not overstay their visa to get approved.
So what Kuya Vic is doing right now is the engraving on the lock, which is the bottom part of the balisong, and it says K and B for Kotulan ng
That's
Balisong.
cute.
The handle materials of wood and horn are punched through and joined to the enclosure with rivets, hammered snugly in place. Man, it looks absolutely
I
beautiful.
kind of want to buy this as for a centerpiece, or like, you know what I mean? Like I'll put it in like a little like thingy, and then I put it in the wall, and like, the Philippines.
Beautiful, guys.
The
A whole bunch of different
balisong.
materials going into this one handle. He's kind of drilling in.
Because things like this doesn't last forever. A lot of old school traditional stuff sometimes like they're pretty much dying. I will not lie. A lot of things are very much dying when it comes to traditional made stuff, because one, it takes too long. Two, it's too like not many people are buying it or something. Three, not many people care about it anymore. You know, there's a lot of things. So like I don't know. I kind of want to support and buy something. Yeah, I'll buy it since I'm already in the Philippines. Why not? Why not?
pins for each and every one of them so that they are able to hold it in place.
Gotta support my fellow Filipinos!
Finally, we add brass to both
Hi,
ends
team.
to
I
cap
am on those Filipinos that works in healthcare in the US. And yeah, doing the visa is hard cause if you mess up, you may end up paying again for the application.
Yeah, dude.
Fortunately, I got it right the first time.
Ooh, congrats! No, I got unlucky. I got so unlucky because a week before my stupid application in the UK and stuff, a week before they updated it out of nowhere, that they were like, yeah, sorry, you have to do this. Sorry, you have to go back to your country and do it there. And it was like a literal week before my application that Trump, Mr. Trump did a little update on how the visas work, and you're no longer able to apply abroad. Just as I, and I didn't know because you have to book 3 months of advance. So I booked 3 months in advance, not knowing. I go to my appointment, and then there was a patch update. just a week ago. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm getting a little bit annoyed again.
Off the handle design and add weight at the right places. Despite looking
Literal
rough
life
and
patch.
squared off at this
Life
point,
patch.
the handle is basically
dealer bred to
good to
get
go.
32 months.
Now it's back to the grinder.
Hi, Dean. How's my favorite
I am the dealer bred to get 32 months.
First, the ends are leveled, and then the entire handle is worked down into one smooth, continuous shape.
Starting to round off now, both the brass and the wood have sort of been molded into one smooth
I'm sorry if I'm looking at my monitor a lot. I'm buying it right now.
handle. And now we're beginning work on grinding down the steel.
With the handle complete, it is blade time. But how did this design come about anyway? And what makes the barley song so controversial and maligned?
I think it was one of our first.
Because it's so easy just to hide. It's just so easy, dude. What can you do?
Not the first pocket knife that we had.
The barley song name is believed to have come from the Tagalog word barley, to break, and sungay, or horn. So together, broken horn, due to the frequent use of horn
I'll get
in
a little
handles.
stand for it.
Others
Oh,
trace
true.
it back to the barangay of barley song here in Batangas, where we are making the blades today. But I'm not really sure what came first. The design itself emerged in the 1800s. Many suggest that Filipinos drew inspiration from the French paille de roi, a folding measuring tool once used by sailors.
And then
Oh, W reference.
Filipinos took it and revolutionized it and made it to where it's flippable with one hand. Because prior to that, it wasn't flippable by one hand. And so the very definition of a barley song is that you can flip it with one hand.
Yeah, that is so cool.
The craftsmen here in barley song, though, tell me that the original
I know I'm gonna cut myself by accident. I play with it and then boom, it's over. And then I'm gonna be like in my Discord, I'm like, guys, no stream today. I accidentally cut myself.
use of the knife was
I know
as a
it. I know
simple
it's gonna
farm
happen,
tool.
man.
If you're a farmer out in the farm and you're holding produce or a bushel of something or a sack of rice or whatever, and you needed to open, you needed a knife, and to be able to open a knife with one hand, barley stone was perfect for that.
That efficiency helped the blade gain huge popularity here in the Philippines well before it became known for the flashy flipping tricks. Fast forward to the 1900s, and the barley song was deeply ingrained in Filipino culture. It was used in everything from day-to-day cutting tasks to local martial arts. But it really picked up wider appeal after World War II and the US occupation of the Philippines. American soldiers stationed there took one look at these funky-looking knives and thought, now that is something different. And they bought that barley song tucked away in their duffel bags and footlockers all the way back to the States.
From what I hear, they had a hard time pronouncing the name balisong, and because the balisong looks like a butterfly, when you're flipping it open, it's like fluttering like a butterfly, the handles.
I hate buying in the Philippines because sometimes there are some stores that didn't modernize it a little bit. And so you have to, when you order, you have to take a screenshot of you actually sending them the money and emailing them like proof of payment instead of just like sending the money like in a like, you know, credit card or something like that. No. You have to like do it like manually. This has to be a lie? No, yeah, that's how it works. It's that it's like a trust system. So you send the order, they'll give you the order details on like the bank account and the or Gcash or something like that. And then yeah, so that's just how it works. That's it, dude. It's like, you know, it's old school.
They coined the term butterfly knife.
This international curiosity only boosted the thriving knife-making hubs.
My God, dude. Wait.
International curiosity only boosted the
Oh my God, dude. The wiggly one is so sick. It's such a... If you guys don't know anything about Filipino stuff, this is a...
thriving knife-making hubs in Balisong and Tal, where the entire neighborhood was now being devoted to
That
manufacturing
is also so illegal. Well, I just bought it, so, you know.
this specific blade design. The design was featured in martial art demos and pop culture movies, cementing itself on the global stage. But not all of
It's
this
not illegal
attention
in
was
my,
positive.
my
It was always
country.
held by the bad guy in the movie. Right? It was always used for criminal activity. And it just developed a bad reputation.
It became Hollywood's go-to symbol.
Oh, is that why it got so illegal? Because people thought it was cooler, so people like got more and more into the knives and stuff because it would look so cool.
Of this dude means business. And the timing couldn't have been worse. Cities in the 80s were dealing with real-world crime problems. The world over, butterfly knives got lumped in with switchblades and knuckles as symbols of street and gang violence. And before long, the hammers started coming down. The UK banned them outright in 1988. Other countries followed suit. Even in the US, state after state started cracking down. You guys don't even ban guns, so it's kind of stupid, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Today, the Bali song is among the most banned knives on earth.
Wait, what? I didn't know this. That's so cool, though. I'm sorry, but that's actually kind of cool. Like, God, Lord, the knife was just so cool that people needed it so badly to make it like cooler and like that, and it like whatever, to the point where it had to be banned.
It is restricted or outright
It's a little bit tough, isn't it? It's
banned
too tough.
across the globe.
What we're hoping to do in the future is to be able to make it partially legal. In the Philippines, it's legal to be able to have a gun and carry a gun, but you
That clears. Okay, weeaboo.
have to have a permit. Yeah. So we want to eventually do the same thing with the balisong as well.
Time to finish up the blade. We're going to be making this blade with stock removal.
I think the reason why you would ban a very specific knife is because it creates a scene into the thing that makes people want to buy it as well. But then you don't look cool with a stupid ass kitchen knife, okay? Like, the moment that you make things not as cool and stuff and no aura, it just doesn't look as good. So...
A large piece of leaf spring that's already been hammered flat needs to be cut way down to size. This thing's far too thick for a blade.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one sharp knife by the time we get through this thing.
yeah, one-handed. You can literally take it out of your pocket one-handed and keep it in like a very secured area super easily. I could see why it would be banned so many ways. Like, bro, that is too OP.
The blade design we're crafting today
Easy to
is
carry with
inspired by
you.
those wavy
Fucking
Chris
hell.
daggers that are rooted in tribal Filipino.
Oh, did you know that my in the Dark Souls outfit, we were supposed to give this to my VTuber, but I decided not to.
That are rooted in tribal Filipino and Indonesian traditions. The piece of leaf spring has already been cut and hammered flat, but there's still a lot of
There's
material
a
to
curved sword, yeah, but not wiggly.
remove. Holes are drilled so that the blade can be mounted, and this time steel rivets, not are hammered into place to hold it
But
secure.
there was other Filipino swords to reference, not only just the wiggly one. So we referenced another one because there is no sword that's wiggly in like all of Bloodborne and Dark Souls.
Also drill in a hole for the center pin that's going to keep everything aligned when
The
open.
Flamburgers
So
one?
as you can see, this thing has started to really come together. That is very much looking
Shit,
like a
I did
Bali
not
song. We've
play
got the lock in place.
fucking
The
Dark
blade
Souls
has
2.
kind of been in place, but it is still very clunky at this
Oh,
point.
yeah.
It's kind of just like a large piece of steel. Maybe you could whack someone over the head with this, but otherwise it ain't going to do any damage. And we've got the pins hanging out, but things are really coming together. I'd say this is about
It looks so funny without the like knife look, like a little block.
50% complete. We just got the finishing to go.
Queervic's brother Poyang steps in to help finish the blade.
Wait, if you make a knife that's not sharp and stuff, but it resembles the balisong, is it still illegal? Like if it's just like a block?
We start out cutting the blade to shape.
So why do people not just order a block and then sharpen it when they're in the country?
With an angle grinder. Then establishing the edge with the grinder.
Oh my god,
And
the music
carefully and
is so
slowly,
strong.
we begin to grind in that wavy pattern.
We're going to really start to see that crisp blade shape coming out now.
The balisong hair combs. My god, dude. I've seen those. I remember seeing that in public and I was like, what the f? That somebody had like a comb that was like a balisong or like a butterfly knife. And and then he like flipped it, and it was a comb. Oh my god, I have one of those, really?
Now guys, it isn't done entirely by hand, it seems. No measuring, no nothing.
It's cute.
Just that straight curve blade from hours of stock removal. That wavy, crisp blade, the sort of Filipino style, the lock at the back. It looks to me just like we've got a couple of pins to finish up and we should be good. That is one hell of a blade.
Before finishing the blade off though, it must be hardened. To do this, a small forge in the corner of the workshop is powered on using a small pond water pump. The blade is removed from the handle and it is placed in the forge until it gets just absolutely glowing hot. Right now, we're getting that thing absolutely scorching hot. The blade is then quenched in the finest Filipino quenching oil, straight from a jeepney's last oil change.
Oh, all right.
Now the perfect level of hardness, the blade can be finished. Any rough edge
The way he explained that was so like tough, but if you're Filipino, I feel like this is not tough at all.
edges are removed, the final center pin is put in place.
The finest Filipino oil, the jeepney's motor oil. Oh hell no! I just realized your username, Tenzin Fatness, bro.
Of the blade. It is a beautiful mix of steel, horn, and wood.
Guys, imagine a cookie stream and out of nowhere, I pull out a ballad song. That would be.
So this is the balisong that Kuya Vic and Kuya Poyeng, the Bautista brothers, just finished making. It's a 29 centimeter balisong, also known as a 29.
God damn, this is huge. Oh my god, wait, I didn't know 29 cm were that huge. That's gigantic. Fuck. I didn't.
Making. It's a
Shit,
29
I'm gonna change my
centimeter
order.
balisong, also known as
Hello?
a 29. It's a crisp blade, which is very Filipino, iconic type of blade for both balisong
My god.
and other types of weaponry. It's a really beautiful balisong that they just made in literally half a day. From our group, we wanted to present this and give this as a gift to Andrew and
I
his
know it's smaller when you fold it, but still.
production team.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
How the are they gonna bring that home?
Thank you very much, man. This is absolutely beautiful, honestly. Really cool. I love it. Now I gotta just learn how to not kill myself with this thing, you know? Quivik, thank you for showing us around today, man. Really awesome blade. I wanna ask, man, how long have you been
Illegally, duh. Oh, my bad. Would have never guessed.
doing this?
I think maybe 30 years
30 years? Man, and how did you get into this?
na nagagawa sila. So, araw-araw kong nakikita, kaya natututo na rin po ako.
He learned from his family, his dad primarily.
Because you have 3 brothers,
Yes, sir.
and they're all
Oh my god, I thought that was already the knife. I was like, holy shit, that's a thick knife. And I realized it's the beforehand thingy.
into balisong making.
Wow. Look at this one. The one with the blue
Because
steel.
you have 3 brothers.
Yes, sir.
Bro, that's actually a rare in CS. No, that's actually that's a blue steel. Dude. I'm not gonna lie, that one looks sick. That looks like a blue gem, you know what I mean? Like it's shining. Oh my god. It looks like the old school. What do you guys call it when the knife is like completely black? Now in CS2 it's purple, but back in the day it was just completely black. What is it called? The black laminate? No.
And they're all into balisong making.
Yes, sir.
What do you think it was about your father
Black
that
Pearl!
he trained all you guys to get
Doesn't
into
look
this
like it
space,
actually now I
right?
think
Kaysa
about it.
naman po ako maglalaro lang na maglalaro din. Ako'y bata pa.
Yeah, so his dad started when he was just 15 years old. When his dad was 15 years old, learning how to make the balisongs. When he had children and they were starting to grow up, Kuya Vic was saying that instead of them just running around playing, that
He's
they were
gonna translate. You guys don't need me to translate.
taught how to make balisongs, and then eventually it became a way for them to also contribute to the family, and eventually being able to provide for their own family when they got married and had kids.
Were there more balisong makers in the past or less?
Lahat po dito ng mga tao o karamihan po hindi naman.
So he was saying that there was a lot more balisong makers here.
Guys, what do you guys think of this one? What do you guys think of this one? No, I feel like... How about... Oh my god. How about the one with the holes? Ooh, this one. Oh. 24 inch? 24... 24 cm. Oh, let me play this while I'm ordering.
Before when he first started 30 years ago. And unfortunately, because materials started to become expensive, a lot of the balisong makers either moved abroad or they looked for other kinds of work. There was a decrease in the demand.
Kaya sobrang dami po talaga nung kailan.
He said he remembers in the 90s where it was really, really popular. He said a lot of people were making songs. Even the little kids, he said, knew how to at least make the housing or the inlays of the balisong.
So it really was kind of like this town. It was one of the main industries here.
Ito po itong isa po sa kilala ng bayan ng Tal. Ito po.
I have to DM their Facebook page. Are you serious?
Birth of the Batangas-made, Filipino handmade balisong.
Ang balisong po talaga ay hindi na po.
He was just saying is that his concern is that in the next 20 years that the
Hi,
balisong
Randy.
will
They get 3
be
months.
out of
Deme
our
free.
culture. One of the things that we're working on together is to develop an apprenticeship
Stop
program
saying
to be able to
dogs!
get young adults
Is it here?
interested into learning the balisong, because it's important that they take an interest in it for us to be able to keep this part of our culture alive.
Yeah. All right, well, that's cool. I hope that apprenticeship program goes well and that there is a future for.
Why you use a streaming PC for personal stuff? Wait, people have 2 PCs for non-personal and personal stuff? Dude, there was this one time I literally like opened up my file thingy in my PC during stream, and my passport was just there.
This industry here, because it'd be kind of sad.
Everybody, I don't know if people noticed or not, but everybody just chose to ignore it. Nobody spoke about it in chat, and everybody just moved on.
If the birthplace of the blade no longer makes it, you know? Okay, thanks, man. As a burgeoning knife nerd, it's something I can kind of get
so
behind.
glad.
Plenty of pocket knives around the world get treated like cultural icons. There's the Legolet and Opinel in France, the Swiss Army knife in Switzerland, the Navaja
Damn, the Swiss Army knife in Switzerland became like just a little pocket little thing.
in Spain. They're more than just tools. They're tied to a sense of national identity. Meanwhile, the Bali song in the Philippines gets this completely different reception. It is unfairly labelled as
Aww. To be fair, they made the perfect weapon, so what can you do? Oh, what can you do?
as more dangerous than it ever really was. Because you can use like a giant machete here, but you can't use a Bali song.
Right.
And I mean, well, the machete's pretty Filipino as well, but the other iconic blade of this country, you can't even legally use. That's
Wait, what? Is it illegal here as well? What do you mean? What do you mean legally use? Like in public?
a pretty big hang up in getting this kind of thing recognized as a cultural icon.
Right.
Mainly
Oh, okay,
because
okay.
of sensationalized
Open
media
carry.
portrayals and movies from the 80s and 90s. The truth is,
Guys, I'm being honest, and I love my Filipino stuff. I love it so much. But you cannot blame other countries for banning this knife when it is so easily to conceal into a small little pocket of yours. And it's so easy to like one-handed just rip it out. Because usually knives are, you know, you have to have like a little holder just in case because you don't want to get like stabbed and shit. So, you know, you can't blame countries for banning it. Also, you can't blame that it looks cool. So more people would want to buy it just to buy it. Not even because they like knives or something. Like, you know how easy it is to buy a knife if it's like legal? It's super easy.
this blade is no riskier or easier to hide than any other folding knife. It's never been involved in any more crimes statistically. But unfortunately, these misconceptions have led to bans that stand to this day, and they have nearly erased the Bali song from Filipino heritage.
The Bali
Yo, Fanta, guys, they think it's so much difference. And the only reason why the katana is not banned is because it's humongous as shit. Who the dude, if somebody's like standing with a katana, everybody will notice. Hello?
song is a fading part of our culture. Even a lot of Filipinos, especially the younger
It's a fucking
generation,
sword.
are surprised to learn that it's ours, that it's from the Philippines.
And that, in my mind, is this huge loss for a culture that came up with something unique, a single-handed design that is special.
Wait, sorry. Katanas are banned if it's sharp, if it's sharpened. Just in case that people want to collect them and stuff like that. Common Deme Face with underbags emoji. Dying no. Bro, this guy has so much aura. Wait, what are you trying to say? What? Stop lies? Wait, what was the lies I said?
If this thing had come out of Europe, it'd be slapped with so many PDOs, PGIs and TSGs that you'd need a forklift just to lift the label. But because it's Filipino, it's been allowed to be forgotten. And in my mind, it's
Because it's Filipino, it's being allowed to be forgotten? This is just victim mentality, no? Like, it's not forgotten because it's Filipino, it's forgotten because it's a really well-designed knife.
time to bring back the Bali song. What kind of steps are you guys doing? How are you?
No! Let's not actually make ballad songs really cool again. Because, like, bro, there's like a lot of issues with stabbing, bro. Let's not. What are we talking about?
Trying to continue this tradition.
We're using
Why
social
not? Bro. Nah, bro. Someone got stabbed, like, near my like street and where I live. And nah, bro. That.
media to be able to promote the Bali song and to be able to revive the culture and bring interest back to our people here in the Philippines. We're encouraging people to buy the trainers so that they can practice flipping at home safely.
Like many Filipino
It's their culture. Brother, just because, like, let's say in Japan, their culture has katanas and shit, doesn't mean that everybody in the house will have a sword.
blades, the Bali song transitioned from
Like, dude, it's a knife. It's a scary.
farm tool to weaponry and then into Filipino martial arts. Today, it is a practical and versatile weapon, perfectly suited to the fast, close combat techniques of systems like Eskrima, Kali.
This is like the same thing as saying, like, let's bring our culture back in the US about, like, gun lovers. You know what I mean? It's the same kind of, like, concept. There's gonna be people who are super safe about guns, yeah, sure, but there's always gonna be one person, the 0.1% that goes really crazy. And there's, in every community, there's always that 0.1%. Okay? In anything.
And harness. Its compact design allows for concealment and quick deployment, making it ideal
probably
for
more than
self-defense
0.1,
and
more
for
than
tactical
1%.
applications. And Ron and his crew continue to practice this art of flipping. They showcase a bunch of different ranges
It's for
and
sure an art,
styles,
though.
from the more artistic flowing movements to the more tactical combat-ready implementations.
Yeah, no, I'm never doing that. No, I feel like, hey guys, look at this, and then boom, I'm banned on Twitch because I accidentally cut myself live on stream and bleeding for. Yeah, no, I can't.
Hopefully
know
this
why
video
it's
helps
so
out a
loud.
little bit. I think they're awesome blades, really unique culture. It's like the kind of artisan thing that I hope continues here.
It's cool though. I love the ballad song. I have a great found love for ballad songs.